elections, and can we expect new measures to be put in practice, especially for certain cities such as Istanbul? Distinguished friends, about the new measures, as you know, the responsible authority here is the scientific board. And the scientific board is undertaking all sorts of studies necessary to address the matter. Of course, the sensitivity to be shown by our citizens is of great importance. We have introduced many measures, but despite that, we observe that many citizens do not pay the due attention to that, and in indoor areas you see some citizens even smoking, and we see some citizens who are not wearing masks. We, as you know, address three basic measures: wearing masks, social distancing, and personal hygiene. We attach great importance to all of these. But if we do not be careful about these measures, it will then be inevitable to take certain additional measures, especially in greater cities, and we will have to take those measures, and we will take measures in line with the recommendations to come from the Ministry of Health. We do not have any challenge in terms of infrastructure, but as you know, there are studies undertaken for vaccine development, and we have our own studies ongoing very effectively, but as well with Russia, China, Germany, we know that the scientists Uğur and his wife are continuing to work, and we have certain steps for the administration of the vaccine on volunteers, and we are undertaking actions in this regard. The Ministry of Health is very resolute, and all the healthcare professionals also portray a very decisive stance, and this way we continue with our vaccine studies. But the number of deaths is increasing, the death toll is increasing, and the number of these severely ill patients is also increasing. This is very much, of course, upsetting, but hopefully we will curb the spread of the virus soon. Mr. President, about the vaccines to be procured from other countries, do you have certain comments on that? As you know, dear friends, this is a process to be put in organization. There are various organizations such as TÜBİTAK providing us with certain reports as regards the course of the development of vaccines, and the earliest they say will be April for those to be delivered. But of course there are some other talks we hold with various other parties. For example, with Mr. Putin, I have certain talks, and with the ministry from China, we have negotiations ongoing, and maybe certain batches of vaccines to be gradually transported will be administered on volunteers. We hope to see the possible potential adverse effects as soon as possible, to see if there is any. There are studies ongoing in this regard as well. There are certain deals, agreements made with investors, foreign direct investors, and certain agreements signed with Qatar, Mr. President. What would you like to say about that? Turkish Wealth Fund, dear friends, as you know, has made certain decisions, and I chair the fund. As you know, there's no extraordinary situation there, but for the upcoming periods. The wealth fund should be positioned in a very different and meaningful place globally. This is what we want. For example, yesterday the Qatar Emir paid an official visit to Turkey, and this was a step taken towards that direction. And the most important indicator of that is the agreements. Are the agreements we signed? We signed 11 agreements, 11 MOUs, and certain companies, their share and the procurement or acquisition of the shares of various companies are of the scope of our activities. But of course, the most important upcoming project is the Kanal Istanbul project, which I call the crazy project. And about Kanal Istanbul, there are many demands, a lot of interest shown locally and internationally for the project. When it comes to our investments are continuously ongoing for the infrastructure and superstructure. But the number one project here, as regards all those investments, we know is the Kanal Istanbul project, the architectural projects, and all other relevant processes have almost been complete, and now we are at the phase of putting it into practice. And the Ministry of Transportation, as well as the Ministry of Urbanization and Environment, will cooperate to run all the activities, and we will take steps forward regarding that as soon as possible, and it will bring about a high level of power to Istanbul. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Abi mikrofonları hemen almanız lazım arkadaşlar. Evet. Mikrofonlar çok çabuk.